gosh, girl, you're pregnant? I am so excited for you. Let's now discuss the next steps on your journey. If you're new here, hi, I'm Alix and I am your host to Trust Your Body podcast, where I am encouraging women to feel confident and empowered to birth naturally. 95% of women can give birth naturally. And so if you've thought about it, if you're on the fence, if you think, yeah, I want to do it, but I don't know how, please join our little family where I am teaching women that you do not need a high pain tolerance. You do not need to be the biggest, bravest woman out there. With the right tools, any woman is able to do it. Today's podcast episode is all about planning for the next steps in your journey. You've just found out you're pregnant and now it is time to find a midwife and start thinking about your birth plan. Two very important steps on this journey of pregnancy. So, you've just found out you're pregnant. You've maybe told everyone, maybe you haven't, and you're sitting in your perfect little beautiful bubble. But one thing that you are thinking about is your midwife. And I know some people out there have heard horror stories. You have heard all kinds of midwives being amazing and also being kind of horrible. So let's make sure you find the perfect midwife that suits you. Biggest tip, go into Google, search midwives in your area. That's going to be the best place for you to find a midwife. Now, not everybody at this stage is going to know that they want to give birth naturally. We've all heard the stories. We're not sure. But one of my biggest tips is getting a midwife that specializes in birthing naturally, or at least is able, feels confident to help you in that area. I knew basically from day dot that I wanted to birth naturally. And so for me, it was so important to find a midwife that specialized in birthing naturally. I wanted a midwife that made me feel so safe, so encouraged and able. They weren't going to try and talk me out of it, try and talk me into going to the hospital, maybe get an epidural. I just wanted someone that was so set on birthing naturally. And I found my most beautiful midwife who specialized in home births and working at the birth center. If you watched my last episode, I spoke all around how to get through labor and it being a very mental game. Definitely go and check that out if you want to hear more. Also, my birth story is up now if you want to check that out. I believe truly that giving birth is such a mental game. And so for me, it was so important that because I wanted to birth naturally, I wanted to put myself in a place, in an environment where I could not receive an epidural even if I wanted it. I didn't know going into it how mentally strong I was going to be. And even at 8 centimeters, I wanted an epidural. But fortunately, again, I had put myself in a position where that was not a happening thing. And so for me, it was so important choosing my midwife that she would encourage me through that scenario. She knew more than likely with every other client she had that by 8 centimeters, I was probably going to be asking for an epidural. And so she knew the right tools to use. She knew how to talk me through that. She knew how to encourage me to keep going, to birth naturally. Finding the right midwife is so incredibly important. Obviously, for the main reason that they're going to be with you through your most vulnerable state. Not only that, they're going to be with you through your whole pregnancy. And so you want to be able to feel comfortable with them. You want to feel like you're being heard, being seen, and you want to make sure that every concern you go in with is talked about, is listened to. I was so lucky with my midwife. I truly just felt like she was a friend. She listened to me. She encouraged me. She gave me better alternatives to prenatals, to exercises other than the ones that you usually hear about. And every time I went into an appointment with a concern, I always felt leaving more at ease because she really took the time to make sure I was okay and make sure I was feeling confident throughout my pregnancy. On the other hand, I have heard some horror stories where people aren't allowing their partners to go in with them. They're not being listened to. If they ask for a check or a scan, or if they go in with a concern, they're just told, oh, that's normal, don't worry about it, which is so wrong. And I definitely want you to be aware that there are people out there, and it's just because of different practices. Maybe they're a bit older and times have changed. I don't know. I'm not trying to hate on anyone, but just make sure that when you go in, feel the vibe. You don't have to go with the first person that you get in contact with. If there's someone else out there that you also want to talk to them, because at the end of the day, that woman is going to be with you when you are giving birth, and they're going to be seeing you in all kinds of states. Try and get in early, because especially in New Zealand, oh my goodness, the amount of midwives that were already booked up before I found my beautiful midwife was insane. They do book up very quickly. I would say that's all the tips that I have in regards to midwives. I think you'll know when you meet them whether they suit you or they don't. So we spoke about midwives and how important it is to find the right one. Now I want to encourage you to start thinking about your birth plan. This is obviously something that you're going to have your whole pregnancy to think about, but I want to tell you guys, making sure that you have the right environment, the right people with you, there to encourage you, support you, help you through your contractions is going to determine whether you have a positive labor or a super hard, difficult one. And why I say that is because the people around you supporting you, making sure that your environment feels safe, is going to allow for oxytocin and your endorphins to be released. If you're around people who are making you feel scared, they're not supporting you, they're telling you, oh, don't be so dramatic, it's going to mean the hormones released are adrenaline and cortisol, which is what I spoke about in my last episode. Go and check it out if you haven't already. That creates fear, tension, pain, which is not what you want to go through in a natural birth. So making sure you are aware of who you want. How do you want your environment to be? How do you want the people in your environment to treat you? These are super important. And when you know what you want, it's going to make you feel more confident, because on the day, the last thing you're going to be wanting to think about is, oh man, I wanted this person here. I wanted this to happen. I was meant to bring this music or these incense. So let's run through quickly a birth plan, and then you can kind of think about it over your pregnancy. Number one, definitely most important, is who do you want in the room with you? A massive thing for me is you are going to be in the most vulnerable state that you have ever probably been in your life for most people. And you need to be confident and comfortable in front of those people. You also want people there that you know are going to make you feel safe. They're going to support you. And when you are feeling uncomfortable, you might be in pain, you want to make sure that those people are the right people there for you. For me, it was most important that I had my midwife, my husband, and my mum. One thing to think about that maybe you haven't already is, do you want someone there to take photos and videos for you? I was somebody that didn't unfortunately do that, and that to this day is such a big regret for me. I have nothing to show for my labor. I have one photo after with David and I and Olive. I have one photo of David and Olive after I had just given birth, but other than that, nothing. And I honestly to this day regret it so much. So I would absolutely highly, highly, highly recommend asking someone either to come in as a photographer and a videoer, that is all they do, or just making sure you tell your mom, tell your dad, whoever you want in there with you, to please take photos. So you know who you want there, you know if you want photos, videos. Where do you want to give birth? Is it hospital? Is it at home? Is it a birth center? Think about it. Obviously, it can change, but it does matter when it comes to you finding a midwife. Something else to think about is, how do you want your environment? For me, it was so important that I had a calming environment. I wanted candles. I wanted Christian music playing in the background so that the Holy Spirit could fill me with my strength. I wanted dim lights. And I just kind of wanted to be left alone to let my body do what it was naturally doing. As a first-time mom, I wasn't sure what to expect. So I really just gave my body over to God. And I think being able to labor naturally without too much intervention was so important for me. My midwife, halfway through me laboring, was out in her office doing paperwork, doing other things, and would just come back periodically, check on me. And honestly, it was kind of like, what are you doing? Where are you going? But at the same time, it was beautiful. It just gave me time to progress slowly and how my body wanted to do it. How do you want the people that are in the room there supporting you to support you? Is it that you want to be touched, pressing on your back, helping you, holding your hand? Do you want to just be left alone? Do you want to just labor how your body lets it? On the day that you go into labor, the last thing you're going to want to think about is your birth plan. You want to make sure that the people in the room with you know what you want and can be an advocate for you when you aren't able to talk, you aren't able to mentally think about all those things that you wanted. And another thing is, what do you want to bring with you? Do you want to make a playlist? Do you want to bring candles with you? Do you want to bring incense? Do you want to bring a cuddly toy that makes you feel safe? These are all super important so that you can pack a bag, you can be ready, you can be prepared, and everyone around you is on the same page. You may even want to write it down on a piece of paper or print it out and give it to each person that's going to be in the room with you in order to make sure they know exactly how you want it. One big tip that I would definitely recommend is make sure you talk to your midwife about how you're going to take care of the baby once it's been born. A lot of stuff you can see online is American, and I will just say be careful with that because America and New Zealand, if you are in New Zealand, we do things so differently with aftercare for a baby. So definitely talk to your midwife. How do you want it? What has to happen? What kind of things go on? Make sure you're just super aware of it. And if there's anything that you kind of feel, oh, I don't want that, or why does that have to happen? Make sure you have that conversation just so that you are prepared. We are almost done. Let's just quickly run through all the top tips again. So if you're a woman that is thinking about giving birth naturally, you know you want to give birth naturally, that is absolutely the route that you are going down. Find a midwife that specializes in natural births. This will make you feel so much more confident on the day because they are used to it. They can encourage you if you ever have any doubt. They know what to say. They've gone through so much experience and they can share that with you. Make sure you feel comfortable, confident, and listened to when you are with that midwife. Don't just go with the first person that you find if you don't feel comfortable with them. With your birth plan, make sure you are super comfortable with who you want there, how do you want your environment to be, and how do you want to be treated. This will honestly make your labor so much better for you. Giving birth naturally is the most beautiful thing a woman can go through. It is so worth it. It is so beautiful. And honestly, just having the right tools, being in the right environment, being around the right people to support you and love you through every stage of labor is going to be so important. And so I really hope this helps someone. Again, congratulations on being pregnant. It is the most amazing feeling being a mum, and I am so happy for you. If you like this episode, if you want to learn more, please like and subscribe. Comment down below any questions, any concerns you may have, and I will see you guys in another episode next week. I love you. Have an amazing day. Mwah.